Hello, readers and listeners. Today's story is The Mice That Ate Iron. Such a story's name is really very funny, but the story gives a big moral. It is always amazing that how friendship can bring two people closer than the bond of blood. While we are related to scores of people by virtue of our birth, we are free to choose our friends. This freedom comes with a grave responsibility of choosing our friends carefully. It is said that a known enemy is less harmful than a false friend. This story teaches an important lesson in a funny tale. So let's begin the story. Once there was a rich merchant called Naduk. Time passed and his business turned for the worse. Soon it was so bad that he not only lost all his money, but he also got into debt. He decided to leave this city and find his fortune in a new place. He sold all of his possessions to pay off his debts. All that he was left was a heavy iron beam. Before leaving his town, Naduk went to see his good friend Bondu. He requested him to keep the beam with him till he returned. Of course, my friend, I'll keep the beam safe for you, said Bondu. Naduk thanked him and left. He traveled far and wide for many years and worked very hard. He started trading spices and soon became rich again. He returned to his own town, bought a new house, and opened a very large shop. Bundu had also heard that Naduk is back in the town and has started a new business with the money that he had earned in all these years. One day, after work, Naduk went to visit his friend Bondu, who welcomed him warmly. They talked for long. As he was about to leave, Naduk asked Bondu to return his beam. Bondu had no intention of returning it, as he knew that when sold, it would fetch him a good price. He put on a sad face and said, "Something bad has happened. I had kept the beam safely in my storeroom, but the mice have eaten it. I'm really very sorry." Naduk understood what was going in Bondu's mind. "Please don't feel sorry. It is not for your fault. That mice ate the iron beam," said Naduk. Bondu was pleased to know that Naduk had fallen in for the lie. How stupid can one be? Thought Bondu. Meanwhile, Naduk asked Bondu to send his son home with him so that he could hand over the gifts that he had brought for him. Bondu immediately asked his son Pindu to go with Naduk and fetch the gifts. Naduk took the boy home and locked him in the cellar. When Pindu did not return by evening, his father got worried and came to ask about the whereabouts of his son. Naduk said, "Oh, it was so unfortunate. While we were coming to my house, a hawk swooped down and carried the boy off. I followed the hawk for some time but could not keep pace. I am really sorry, my friend." On hearing this, Bondu became furious. He accused Naduk of lying. He insisted that a hawk could not carry off a 15-year-old boy. A quarrel started, and they both went to the court. "Your Honor, I had sent my son with this man to fetch some gift from his house. But my son has not returned since." "This man has stolen my son," cried Bondu. The magistrate ordered Naduk to return the boy to his father. But Naduk insisted that a hawk carried off the boy. The magistrate asked him, how was it possible? To this, Naduk replied, "If mice can eat up an iron beam, surely a hawk can carry off a boy." The magistrate understood that there was more to it than meets the eye here. He asked Naduk to explain everything in detail. Naduk then narrated the story. Everybody in the courtroom had a good laugh. The magistrate ordered Bondu to return the iron beam to Naduk, and Naduk to return Bondu's son. The moral of today's story is that if we do something, we get a similar price. So we should think about we should think about doing it every time we do it. Thank you, and subscribe my channel and click the bell icon.